So here's the question for today's video. How can real estate agents develop the perseverance needed to navigate the inevitable ups and downs of this business and still build consistent, predictable income month after month? Well, my name is Gene Donohue, and I am the creator of the Agent Success Formula. And in this video, we'll answer that question. And just a quick favor, if you could please like this video and subscribe to my channel to make sure you receive my weekly insights into the mindset of successful real estate agents. So when I look at the agents who've built truly sustainable businesses, the common thread isn't necessarily that they had the best technology, the biggest marketing budget, or even the most natural sales ability. More than likely, it's that they've mastered the art of perseverance. And yes, perseverance is an art. You see, they developed the ability to stay in the game when others were throwing in the towel. And that's what we're diving into today. So let's start by defining what real perseverance actually looks like in real estate. And it's not just working longer hours until you burn out. It's not just blindly pushing through regardless of results. The art of perseverance is the strategic determination to keep moving forward towards your goals while being flexible enough to adjust your approach as needed. This kind of perseverance is critical because real estate is fundamentally an unpredictable business. And you can do everything right and still face periods where deals fall through, leads dry up, or market conditions shift dramatically. So the agents who survive and thrive are the ones who have developed the resilience to weather these storms. Now, there's also a direct connection between your ability to persevere and your financial stability. You see, when you're caught in what I call the survival trap, where you're constantly worried about where your next commission check is coming from, it really becomes incredibly difficult to make good strategic decisions. Your financial anxiety actually pushes you toward quick fixes and shortcuts that rarely work long term. So, let me share something I've observed over years of working with agents. And it's this: those who develop strong perseverance skills typically escape the feast or famine cycle, the up and down of real estate, faster than those who don't. Why? Because they stick with proven systems long enough to see results rather than jumping from strategy to strategy, which I see so many agents do. And the financial cost of giving up too soon is substantial. And if you consider this, most marketing and lead generation systems take at least 90 days to really start performing, but the average agent abandons their strategy after just 30 or 45 days if they don't see those immediate dopamine hit returns. That means they're consistently investing time and money without giving their efforts enough runway to actually succeed. And one of my favorite stories from Think and Grow Rich is known as 3 Feet from Gold. And it's a powerful metaphor about pushing through obstacles. And in the story, a gold prospector, driven by hardship, decided to give up on his gold claim. And he sold all of his equipment to a junk man. The junk man, seeking professional advice, discovered a vein of gold just 3 feet from where the prospector had stopped digging. And this story serves as a reminder that success often lies just beyond the point where most people give up. And, of course, perseverance is easier to talk about than to practice. So let's look at some common challenges that test your perseverance in this business. First, there are the inevitable market shifts. Whether it's rising interest rates, inventory shortages, or even economic uncertainty, the market will regularly throw curveballs your way. And these shifts can dramatically impact your pipeline overnight. And without perseverance, they can derail your entire business. And then there's the rejection, which is built into the fabric of real estate. You'll lose listings to other agents. Buyers will ghost you after weeks of showings. Clients will sometimes be difficult or even unreasonable. And each of these experiences tests your resolve. And perhaps most challenging are the periods of slow growth despite putting in consistent work. You're following your business plan, implementing the right strategies, but the results just aren't showing up yet. And this is where many agents abandon ship right before their efforts would have started paying off. And finally, and this is probably the most insidious, there's the comparison trap. And in the age of social media, you're constantly being bombarded with other agents showcasing their successes. The big commission checks, the luxury listings, the lifestyle. What you don't see is their journey, their struggles, and the perseverance it took to get there. So, how do we build perseverance into our business? The key is creating what I call a perseverance system, mindset and systems, a set of practices and structures that support you during the inevitable tough times. And it all starts with financial buffers. In element one of the process flow stack, we assess your financial situation and create a plan for growth. And part of that plan should include building reserves that give you staying power when commissions aren't or are inconsistent. And when you have 3 months of expenses saved, you make decisions from confidence and not from desperation. Next, you need to implement element two, a cash flow system that supports your business during all market conditions. This means setting up consistent income streams where possible and carefully managing expenses to ensure you're never overextended. Your lead generation system, which is element three of the process flow stack, should be designed with perseverance in mind. And this means creating diverse lead sources that align with your natural strengths. So you're not relying on a single strategy that could dry up overnight. And equally important is your mindset practice. Again, mindset and systems. Perseverance is as much mental as it is tactical. This means deliberately cultivating resilience through daily habits like gratitude, visualization, and focusing on leading indicators rather than just results. So, let me share a scenario that illustrates how this works. Imagine an agent who's been consistently working their sphere for 6 months and they haven't had a lot of results. And they've been making their calls, sending valuable content, and making sure that they're reaching out and letting people know they're there for them. But they haven't seen the business they expected. And as I've seen way too many times, many would just give up, right at this point and just chase the next shiny strategy. What's working for you? The last I question on Facebook. But an agent with strong perseverance would evaluate their approach, make targeted adjustments, and keep going. Perhaps they refine their messaging or increase their touch points, but they recognize that relationship based business development takes time. But at the end of the day, will deliver reliable long term results. And so 3 months later, after 9 months now of consistent effort, the business starts coming in. Why? because all those seeds planted over time began sprouting. That's the power of perseverance. It often delivers exponential rather than linear returns. So here's a great question. How do you know the difference between valuable perseverance and stubbornly sticking with something that genuinely isn't working? And this is where data becomes your friend. Track your leading indicators. Those are the activities that typically precede success. And these like conversations that you've had, meetings set, presentations given, contracts signed. If these metrics are increasing but haven't yet translated to deals, you're likely on the right track and need to persevere. But if your leading indicators are consistently low despite your efforts, you may need to adjust your approach while maintaining your overall direction. So let's bring this all home. Perseverance isn't just a nice quality to have in real estate. It is essential for building a business that provides the consistent monthly income we all desire. When you develop this quality, you transform unpredictable market conditions from threats into opportunities. So here's your action step for today. Identify the one area of your business where you've been maybe tempted to give up or change course recently. Then commit to giving that strategy at least 30 more days of consistent effort while tracking your leading indicators. And then at the end of that period, you make a data driven decision rather than an emotional one. So remember, mindset fuels the system and systems support the mindset. And I'm Gene Donohue. And please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.